Who is it?
Hooyo ma joogtaa?
Hooyo Mataalo, she went shopping.
Hooyo markay timaado haba xabiibaa kuu timid ku dheh.
Okay, habo.
Yo, walk on. Assalamu alaikum, damantina kuso dawada, and welcome to Hooyo Mataalo Podcast. I'm Lee, short for Levan.
I'm Sam, short for Samantha.
And yeah, we back, baby. Back for another episode. And yeah, what's it called? We've got a geezer in here who's been here before.
Familiar geezer.
Familiar geezer.
A lot of familiar geezer.
Familiar chap, yeah, who's been here before.
I ain't a geezer.
But yeah, man, do you want to introduce him? Or you say you're going to introduce yourself?
No introduction is needed, bro.
What's the introduction for? The guy's
out
he's
here.
been here before.
Don't need an introduction,
No,
bro.
not needed at all. This is...
Check me out, episode 2. That's it.
Yeah, it was
That's the-
episode 2,
Watch
right?
it again.
Yeah.
Watch it, yeah.
And again.
What's the title again? I'm trying to think. Born Here, mate. That's the one.
Born here,
Born and
mate,
raised there, mate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the one. That's when Adam really and truly dived into what it's like being, a lad, a Somali lad, growing up here and whatnot. No, that was a proper episode. Still.
That was a good conversation, man. I liked
Yeah,
it. I
I
liked
had that.
it.
So going into, you know what? Yeah, funny enough, right? This is a thing. But you need to clear something up, right?
Okay.
Someone must have said in the comments
Oh, don't get me
that
started in the
we
comments, bro.
called our own folks savages, etc., etc. But that's not the case, right? To clear up, you know what I mean? We was actually telling a real story, and the whole thing, what came about was actually the fact that there's a culture shock that went on, right? Someone came back from back home and literally.
Oh,
didn't know what
was
it's
it my
like.
story
Yeah,
that I was talking
yeah.
about the guy
So
pissing out the window?
it's literally a guy that came from back home. He didn't know what it was like, right? So he just said, you know what? And he's quite young at that time. I think.
Bro, the guy's a madman, end of the day, yeah?
He was about 8.
He was a
so
madman.
we're not talking about grown folks. We're not talking about
Yeah.
teenagers in this sense. So just wanted to clear up, yeah. And that's in that case. But yeah, this episode is completely different. We wanted to talk about what it's like, especially for Adam, growing up, settling down whilst, at the moment you're married. Mashallah.
At the moment, you know?
At the moment.
I said at the moment.
I'm actually,
My bad. Yeah, well,
I
the
am.
car is that you are. My
I
bad.
am,
Sorry,
yes.
let me clear this up, right?
Hey, scheming
You're
on myself, bro.
You're married, yeah. At this point, you're married, anyways.
Mashallah.
Mashallah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you settled down quite young, and we wanted your perspective in terms of what was it like settling down young, and what is like being a young father in that sense, and giving us the insight of what someone like giving a real insight into some of the things that you've learned throughout as time has gone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people have some misconceptions on that. So,
It's a big conversation.
I know it's a broad topic and whatnot, but
a
it's
lot to
more
talk
about, yeah.
But fundamentals,
Yeah.
okay, I feel you. I'll get you. So,
give us a drop, man. The heads up, man.
The heads
Like,
up, man.
hey,
What's to be expected?
bro, I mean, every guy is different, innit? Every guy is different, but we have a lot of similarities in terms
Definitely,
of, being able to settle down with just one woman. I mean, some guys will probably find that difficult. Do you know what I mean? I don't know about you two, but
Well, one's enough, brother.
hey,
One's enough.
No comment.
man, yeah, I know Lee, you're dangerous.
I'm
man-
kidding, man.
some
I'm
man is
kidding.
different, but
He's a
for me-
sniper,
No,
lady.
I had to play devil's advocate. Listen, I knew you was gonna say that. I had to play
Yeah.
devil's advocate.
Alright,
But yeah,
fair
one.
enough.
You're number 9, bro. You're a striker.
No.
still.
Stop. I'm a defender, man. Hey, defense.
Defense. Stick to one.
Pablo
Alright.
Murray, innit?
That's it.
Look at this guy. But yeah,
But yeah, being able to settle down with one woman is, some people probably find it difficult. I mean, once you find that one specific person who you feel like is going to be your soulmate or your life partner, it's not a difficult choice, because at the end of the day, you're going to think to yourself, listen, this person, they're gonna be the mother of my children. Everybody knows happy wife, happy life. So, like for me, the reason I chose my life partner was, obviously we knew each other before we got married. Yeah, we was in the same friendship circles. I went to a sixth form in Uxbridge. She went to one just down the road. Like, we was very local. Like, we knew each other. I mean, I went to all boys school, so everybody knows I went to all boys school from the last episode. Yeah, she went to the all girls school next door to me. Yeah, we didn't know each other at that time, but it was crazy because we was less than maybe like 100 meters away from each other for like majority of our teenage years. So yeah, so getting married young, it's not as hard as people think, because obviously straight away you're thinking numbers. Yeah, you're thinking wedding's gonna cost a fortune. In terms of Ardakan, the culture wise, is it gonna work out? Like, there's a lot of other things that need to happen. Politically, it can be all mad in terms of qabils and all whatnot. The in-law families want this, and we don't want that. And because you're the guy, in terms of, so when you get married on the guy side, there's a lot of pressure as well. But the way it happened for me was, luckily I'm blessed with very modern, calm parents, and she also has very modern, calm parents. So when they knew that we was interested in getting married, her mum just called me. I'm just walking down the road on the way to the bus stop, and her mum just called me, and she was like, "Hubba, I know you guys have been talking or whatever for a while now. Let's make this halal kind of thing." And I've said, I was close to buckling under pressure and just saying, "Yeah, cool, let's do this.
Let's do this.
Let's just do this. Like, I'm ready." Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just had to tell her, I said, "Hubba, 100%. Like, I'm down to do this. But for me to be able to give your daughter, one, the perfect wedding, because we're both the eldest in it. So at the end of the day, I know there's going to be a wedding involved." Yeah. I said, "Hubba, to be able to give your daughter the perfect wedding, make sure that we're stable as soon as the wedding is finished. Like, obviously preparations for the wedding is going to cost a lot of money. One, we're going to need somewhere to live as well." So I said, "Yo, give me a year and a half. Yeah. And then I'll have everything you need." Yeah. So a year and a half, no one saw me, bro. These men don't see me for a year and a half, bro. Straight. I'm working 7 days a week, back to back, year and a half.
But this is you being young, right?
Yeah.
This is early 20s we'll talk
Yeah,
about.
21 and a half, like turning 22.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once I turned 22, then we start planning for the wedding. Yeah. And then that whole year, I'm planning, we're paying stuff off, we're doing things very differently, because when you get married and you choose your hall, like your wedding venue, yeah, the wedding venue will give you everything. They'll give you everything. Food, decorations, they'll kit out the tables, the chairs, everything. Yeah. But what we wanted to do was we wanted just the hall. So we chose our hall. That's it. We told them, nope, we don't want your decorations. We don't want your chairs. We don't want your tables. Nothing. Just give us the hall. Standard rate, 3 bags. Yeah. But if they gave us everything, it would have been around 12, 15.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have been what we wanted. Standard rate, just a table, just a hall alone, empty, 3 bags. Yeah. Food. Catering. I had a big wedding. 300 people.
Yeah, it's about
Do you know what's a fun fact? Yeah. You know your wedding? I think that was the first wedding I'd ever been to in my life.
Oh wow!
Imagine
Appreciate
that.
it.
I swear to God,
Yeah.
wallah, man. That was the
That's
first
love.
wedding I ever went to, I think. Yeah. I've been to less than a handful, but that was the first wedding I ever went
Yeah.
to. Or that I ever
What you
got to
saying? How was it?
experience. Well, I was lit.
Lit.
Mashallah, it was very good.
it was
Yeah,
nice
no,
wedding,
definitely. Turnout was great as well.
Yeah, it was
at
a
the
good
same
turnout.
time.
Good turnout.
I think especially what you said earlier, like you was quite young, mashallah, when you settled down. Whatnot. I know there's a lot of pressures in terms of having to make sure that you want it the way you want it at the same time. But at the same time, we both know as men, we don't get to make as many.
Nah, I mean, we're not making much choices.
There's no input like
There's-
that. It's just
all we're
brother,
doing
be
is
there,
this.
innit?
All we're doing is
Do you know what I mean? Dropping the money and
that's
just
literally
be there.
it. I mean,
and
obviously you
etc.
get you have a lot of input.
Yeah.
Like just out of respect, really, innit?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
no one's just gonna be asking you for card details 24s. Like obviously you have things like that. I'm involved. Like what do you like? What don't you like?
A lot of people
Food
took,
tasting and that. Food
Yeah.
tasting was lit still.
a lot of people took
food
advantage of
tasting,
COVID
yeah.
though. Like a lot of people took advantage
Oh, of course,
COVID.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, no. Loads of
You
people.
know
Everyone,
what? Yeah.
yeah.
COVID weddings, they hit a bag
But-
still.
100%.
Very
But
big
post COVID,
bag.
I've even heard like a lot of people have transitioned from like the like wanting that big wedding to like
Having something more intimate.
yeah.
Nah, but you know what? You know how they hit the lick, because even if they're having a wedding, it's them. It's not them saying sorry you can't come. It's sorry, man. Like Boris Johnson said, I can only have 30 people.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
different,
Yeah. So it was that. So whereas if I'm having 300 people, bro, I've got big family. She's got big family.
Yeah, yeah.
It's going to be more than 300 people from everywhere. What? Canada, Kenya, Somalia, bro, Europe. They're all over the place. Do you know what I mean? So that's a mad politics. First of all, people don't get invited to wedding when they think they're entitled to come. Bro, it's mad. It's mad politics, bro. People fall out. People end up not speaking. It's not nice, man, because you're just trying to have a good time. You're literally trying to complete half your deen and just get married and just, go back and do your thing. But in the background, obviously, you won't see this. As you as a person, you won't see this. It'll be more your mum, your aunties, and like all these other people, like the elders. That's where the beef really kicks off. Because someone your age doesn't get invited, they're just going to see it as like, cool, he don't really fuck with me like that.
Yeah.
Do you get it? But then they take it personal, bruv. And it was, I think that's the only issues we really had, really, in terms of getting married. But
Yeah, but what about the pressures? Like,
I was 23, bro.
Yeah.
As a guy at 23, no one's pressuring you to get married.
I hear you.
True.
Do you know what I mean? It was a life choice that I decided to make. My mom and dad looked at me like a grown man and said, "Okay, cool. If you're ready, you're ready." I showed them that I was ready, so they couldn't really say no to me. Like, what are they gonna say?
But at the same time, you're young. You're 23, right? You're still in early years of your career in that sense. Like, do the other side not want that reassurance? For example, you know what? You want to take him on door at this point.
Of course, because I could have easily said on the phone at that point, said, "All right, cool," and then just freestyled the whole thing, borrowing peas off whoever, like asking people to help me out with the wedding or whatever. I said, Hubbo, for me, but to be able to do the wedding myself and like show you that this is me, give me a year and a half and I'll show you that your daughter's going to be fine with me.
Yeah.
Do you get it? So she said, "You know what? Say no more. I respect that. Year and a half. I'll see you in a year and a half."
Yeah.
That's it. Do you get it? And then after a year and a half, I obviously had to come and prove that, that what I said on that phone call was true.
Yeah.
Like, I can't obviously just ask for a year and a half and still be, chatting to your daughter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But really and truly, that year and a half, I don't really see her because I'm working 24s, 7 days a week. I'm saying, she's saying, "Hi, like, come check." Yeah, I got a wedding to pay for.
Yeah. 100%.
Like,
100%.
but it's small things like that as a man that you can show her family, mum and dad, that you're serious for to settle down.
You see at that point, like where you've ghosted and you're just grinding.
Yeah.
Like, like at this point here, do your friends know what you're up to?
Oh, of
Like,
course.
They know you're stacking up for.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
I told them, I'm getting married in a year and a half. Like, safe.
Yeah. Leave me be. Let me just grind.
I'm having a fatty wedding.
Yeah.
I'll see you in a year and a half.
It's not personal. A lot of people might take it personal.
We've been friends, like everyone knows, we've
Yeah.
been friends from knee high, bro. Practically,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, if I don't see these guys for 6 months, I see them on the 7th month. It's
Yeah.
like I just saw them yesterday.
It's not that deep.
It's not that
but
deep.
it's all about understanding.
Yeah.
From guys especially. Do you know what I mean? Like, we knew, listen, it's a big job. You know what I mean? From Oslo, he's the first one to go in that sense. So he's like, "Listen, I'm gonna be grafting. You're probably not gonna see me, but obviously don't take it personal in that sense." And not from us, we're understanding, you know what, there's a big job at hand. We're not gonna take it personal, of course.
100%.
He's gotta go and do what he's gotta do. If he's not able to prove it now, how will he be able to do it later on? It's peak.
It's peak.
So it's all about him saying, "You know what, whatever assignment I've got at the moment, let me go and finish that. Whatever I gotta do, I gotta do." Do you know what I mean? And obviously, for us, to be honest, we respect it a lot in that sense. Like, you know what, he's doing his thing in that sense. So, yeah, definitely. I think it comes with a lot of responsibility and everything else in that sense.
100%.
But then at the same time, let's say now the wedding is gone, right?
Mhm.
And now at this time, you're both young.
But first of all, before
Yeah.
all of that, choosing to get married,
Yeah.
like I was just saying before, the person that you decide to get married to, I don't know, me personally, like, I couldn't just be speaking to someone like 6 months and then like, boom, all right, we need to get married now, kind of thing. Well, I know you want to get married. Like, luckily, I knew my wife for a good 4 or 5 years, bruv. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So it was easy for me to make that choice because I know what she's like. I know how she makes choices. Like, I just know her.
Yeah.
Everything. And obviously, and one of the main reasons was because she always wanted the best for me. She would always push me, and like, she just like, it was undoubtedly she had my back, like, undoubtedly. And bro, the choice was easy for me. The choice was easy for me. So that just shows how much of an amazing woman she is. And as a guy, sometimes you just have to appreciate that, and yeah, you just have to step up to the plate. So when the talks of marriage came around, and and the mum called me. I just had to keep it real with her. I said, hey, year and a half.
Yeah,
you
so
then.
you have to like
Were they
show your
content?
man your
No,
word.
100%.
Yeah,
Were they
100%.
consent?
Because
with-
even if I said to her yes on the phone right there and then, yeah, well, maybe like 6 months or whatever, they would have looked at my family and said, yo, like, it's wedding time. Do you get it? Like, cough up the bag. You know, my daughter wants this type of wedding or whatever. And realistically, she's not entitled to that, but, you know, that's what she deserves.
Yeah,
She get it. She's an amazing person. She's the firstborn. You know, if she wants a wedding, she needs to get a wedding.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
There's a whole man here come to the house, ask for her hand and that.
100%.
So when I told her year and a half, yeah, she accepted.
But from a
it, no
guy's
problem.
perspective, we're looking at things like, of course,
Don't crumble under that pressure.
Yeah,
Okay,
don't
cool.
get me wrong. Of
Yeah,
course,
100%.
there's things like
It's always
yeah.
I understand. Don't take the piss as well. Don't just be dating your girl or chatting to your girl for just time and just enjoying the benefits of dating. Yeah, halal or haram, like whatever. Cool. Don't take the piss and just drag her through the mud, basically, innit? And just date her for whatever, and then just get rid of her. If she's a good girl, and she's and you really do like her, and peer pressure as well is a mad thing. Peer pressure as well is a mad thing, because you could be dating a girl for 2 years and you go tell the man, yo, I'm thinking to marry this girl, you know. And the man them sometimes they just be like, what? You trying to get married? Like, don't take the piss, bro.
Yeah.
Like, chill out. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as long as you've done your CRB on her, yeah, and if the checks come back, DBS is clean, and you're happy with the DBS, then no one else can tell you, bro. No one can chat to you, and your friends have to be happy for you. Do you get me? If they're not, then
I think maybe from a
circle just gets smaller.
From a guy's perspective, they might say, because you're quite young, you'd be like, nah, you're still messing about, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? But once you grow to maybe mid-20s, late 20s, let's say, don't be surprised. A guy might say to you in 3 months, in that space, he knows it for, let's say, 3 months.
100%.
And he's like, you know what, I'm locking off. And we're like, but are you sure? Yeah. No, I know. Because maybe throughout that time, he's gone through so many different things, got to know himself a lot better. He understands himself, and he's like, you know what, I really and truly just need 3 months.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like, I don't need more than that.
Like those
And
reactions you're talking about, it's probably like, I'd say early 20s or whatnot. If you went to your like friends and whatnot, and at those ages they probably react like that. But at the ages that we're at now, like, you swear down, you ready? All right, go for it, man. Like it just
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you a question,
I
because
think.
obviously you're both single. Am I right?
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
You're not gonna
yeah.
upset no one watching, yeah?
No.
You're both single, yeah?
No, do you know it was the way you flipped it for a second? I thought, right.
Am I single?
Usually I'm asking the questions. You know what I'm saying?
No, but let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
innit?
go on,
So,
go on,
like,
go
you're
on.
both
Yeah,
single
go on.
now, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, how long would you want to know someone for you to be comfortable enough to get married?
You know, I think
Is that a
everyone's-
case by case basis?
I think
Or
everyone's
do you have a
situation-
benchmark?
I think everyone's situation is different. Like, for example, with
Yeah, I'm
myself,
asking you, man, then.
Yeah, no, I think for me, anyways, it would be between, let's say, 6 to 12. Just
6
really
to 12.
months. Wow. Maybe, but that point,
Shook
you know, it is
My
like
baseline's 2.
2 years.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not gonna lie to
think,
you.
I don't think you have to.
That's
I
my
think,
baseline.
I think if you're mid-20s, maybe it takes a bit longer. But once you get to the later stage, you know what? You say, you know what? I'm all right. Like, maybe in financial standpoints in that point, you know what I mean? You're like, you know what? Now I'm ready for the next chapter.
Yeah.
So you're like, you know what? Let me get to know 6 to 12 months. Get to know the person, but at the same time, like you said, have the outlook of understanding her family at the same time. Do you know what I mean? You got to know both things. You can't just go on judgment. Yo, I'm in love and that's it. No, you gotta be realistic about things at the same time. You gotta think about a wider picture. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. I think a lot of like peer pressure will still be there. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
The older you get, the more questions you'll be asked about. Oh, you know what? The boy's locking off. Then the next one locks off. Then the next one, and so on. And then, you know, you're the next guy's wedding, and they'll be like, you know, what's going on with you?
What
mate?
happened to you, bro?
What's happening, my brother?
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Do you like the streets that much, like, for you
Yeah.
to be
That's-
chilling? Do you know what I mean?
No, but
But
at these ages, you like, I don't know about you, innit, but you definitely get like pressures from, I don't know if it's your parent or your uncles and your aunts or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Like when you reach 25 plus, innit, like it's not even just like women that get those questions. Like guys
No,
get
it's
it
both.
too, innit?
It's
Like,
both.
Yeah, but for them, it probably starts a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
get it?
yeah, probably.
But for us, like for now, it'll probably be around our age at the moment.
Yeah,
Probably they're probably asking.
100%.
Especially if all your friends around you are getting married.
100%.
Do you
I
know
think
what
for girls, right, this is the thing. Like, they want reassurances in that sense. when they get probably to their late 20s and whatnot, they'll be like, you know what, I'm good in my career too. I think now I'm seeing a lot of my friends settle down. Let me lock off too. Do you know what I mean? At the same time. So don't get me wrong. I think guys are the same thing. Do you know what I mean? They say, you know what, now I think is the right time for me to lock off too. Do you know what I mean? And it's all about finding the balance of, you know, of saying to yourself, like, you don't need to just grab the first one that you see and say, that's it. It doesn't work like that.
I could never do that, bro.
I don't know. Some people
That's
might
mad.
be like that.
You know what's always on my head, like on my brain? This person's going to give birth to my children.
But
Yeah.
see,
I think that's a mad thing.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Man. This is gonna be the mother of my child.
Mother
man.
of my child.
Like that
And really and
always
truly,
plays.
the way that how it is in the West here, you're going to work majority of the time. She's going to be at home with the children. Do you get it? At least for a year. If she wants to go back to work, absolutely no problem. Like some women are like that. They don't like to be away from their careers too long. They might feel out of touch.
Yeah.
You know, they maybe got pregnant at a point where progression was just about to start to happen for them in their career. So they don't like to be out of work for too long. So maybe they'll go back after a year. But even if they don't, majority of the time they're going to be at home with the children. Do you get it? Anywhere between 9 to 5 or whatever your working hours are. Yeah. You're relying on this person to raise your children. Yeah. So you can't just obviously grab the first girl that's, you know, made you feel nice for the first 6 months. Do you know what I mean?
No,
and she's giving you everything that you want. Do you know what I mean? It don't work like that. That's why for me, my baseline is 2 years. Do you know why? Because within 2 years, I do feel like you have ups and downs. You have situations in life. A lot of situations in life won't happen in 6 to 12 months. Do you know what I mean? Things will just happen where it will show this person's characteristics and their true colors over a good amount of time. So for me, I was lucky. It wasn't always planned, but, you know, it just happened that, you know, I happened to know this girl for 5 years. And then obviously after this 5 years, I was like, hey, you know, this is the one for me. But if that wasn't the case and I was still dating up until now, at my age, I would still choose to want to know someone. If they're amazing, you know, someone can always blow your socks off and it'll probably take me a year. But yeah, it would take 2 years.
But do you think that's down to options? A lot of people talk about this all the time. Like nowadays, you've got so many options out there. Do you know what
exactly. I mean, the way you guys are talking, do you know what I mean? It's like the streets out here is mad.
The way we say it is like there'll be loads of options out there, right? And we're talking about proximity in terms of like you got your phone, there's socials, there's all type of things. So maybe you're looking at so many different profiles. You're like, no, I'm not really feeling that. Then you look at the next one, you say, perhaps, and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, that's what prolongs a lot of things, a lot of guys, and maybe vice versa. Do you know what I mean? We can only talk on the men's side of things anyways. But
okay, let me ask you another question. Would it matter where you met your wife?
Well, obviously not the clubs and that. That's what a lot of men are scared of. Do you know what I mean? But
so you can never marry a
depends.
girl that you met in a club?
Nah, but it's one of those ones. You gotta be realistic about things. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you both gotta like. The way it is, like, you both have to look at each other's foundation. Like, Dean is very important.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? I think the older you get and whatnot, you really think about, you know what, like myself and the person, the foundation has to be upon the Dean first.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
definitely.
And that makes a lot of things a lot easier.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
much easier.
Of course, you look at the qualities too, but at the same time, if the person has Dean, and you know, like, And this is the basics, right? Like praise and whatnot, etc. Right? These things is the things that you look out for once you get older. I think.
No, but
maybe I don't know. Maybe when you're not younger, you don't look at those things as much. Maybe.
No, but
In the
do you know
fast
what
life,
it
man.
is? Do you know
You know
what
what I
the,
mean?
the way I look at this is like, it's like, I'm not gonna say it's like going shopping, and going with like a shopping list, but you almost have to have your non-negotiables.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Like you have to start off from a default point where you know yourself. Yeah, you know yourself and you know what you want. If you don't know yourself and you don't have non-negotiables, bro, like you're gonna be in a shop trying to remember the items that are missing from home.
Yeah, no, I
Like
fully
you
agree
can't
with
be
that,
in a
yeah.
situation like that.
No, definitely. I agree with the non-negotiables. Like you can't, for example, I know whatever you're not comfortable with, right? You'd be like, you know what, forget that. I'm just gonna
Compromise.
exactly,
Compromise
and that's when
finish it.
issues start to come about. Do you know what I mean? At the same time, and I agree with you. You have to have your non-negotiables at the same time. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, how can I better myself Do you know what I mean? Like, you might be at a point where you say, you know what? I'm at this point now. How can I better myself? Do you know what I mean? Whether it's, and I say this all the time, especially when it comes to the deen aspect, that's number one. That's key. Do you know what I mean? Everything else after that becomes a lot easier. Do you know what I mean? You got to look at qualities, whatnot. And they tend to say a lot of the times when it comes to the guy side, we lack a lot of the emotional intelligence of things.
Yeah.
It is.
No, it's true.
One
It's
of
true.
those
It is,
things.
It's definitely
Whereas
true.
we think about maybe from a logical perspective
No,
rather
that's
than
the
just
thing.
rather than just from just banking on emotions all the time. Do you know what I mean? Where you can say to a girl, you know what, I love you, she loves you, etc. And then you say, you know what, let's lock off the next 3 months. But maybe that's not really realistic. Like, there's other things that need to be patterned beforehand. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, that's why you said a year and a half. Do you know what I mean? But that's not always going to work with everyone. That
No, I
depends
mean,
on
obviously
if
it-
both parties agree
Yeah,
on that.
yeah,
And say,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what, that's reasonable. We believe
No,
in
but obviously
that.
it was just perfect for my time because of it was a time where in my career I was just progressing and if obviously it was just a conversation at that time, marriage, it was just a conversation. But once it became reality, I said, okay, cool, I need a year and a half for it to be, to set us up on the path and for it to be comfortable and for your daughter to not have no problems. Do you get it? So that's why it was perfect for me. Obviously, if you're 35 and you're speaking to the family and sitting there saying, yeah, like, marry my wife, marry my daughter, sorry, and you're coming with year and a half talks, they're saying, nah, brother, you know what I
They're not
mean?
really going to have
We
it
ain't
at
got
that
year and a
point.
half.
Yeah,
They're not going to have it at that
Do you know
point.
what I mean? It's
Do you
not
know what I mean?
possible. If anything, a year and a half, if you're really and truly 35, you should already, have your shit together, innit? But everyone's different. But
No, I agree. Everyone's different. Everyone's got their own point when it's written for you to settle down. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's where it comes down. But it's all about being realistic at the same time, making sure that at least you've got your things in order. Do you know what I mean? You want your own house in order in that sense. You want to come patterned at least in that sense. Do you know what I mean? So at that time, it gives that person that comfortability in that sense. Like, you know what, I'm comfortable with this. He knows what he's doing. He can hold us down in later years in that sense. But then, like I said, everyone's different in that sense. But I think maybe in this day and age that we are, it's more like maybe everyone's just watching each other and say, okay, how's this gonna get done? You know what I mean? Like,
and let me ask you guys another question. I'm very eager. I don't know. The single life just seems very mad to me right now. Out there, I'm hearing the streets is cold, streets is mad. Like,
Okay.
what's the kind of like social? How would you find someone to date? Because I'm hearing mad dating sites and that. Is that what you lot on?
Nah.
I don't do dating sites, but no. I actually don't.
You've never tried it.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
I haven't
innit?
dabbled around with that,
I'm
to be
gonna be
honest.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, when that, like, obviously when Muzmatch came around,
Yeah.
when I first started hearing about it and whatnot,
Mhm.
like, I'll be honest with you, I downloaded the app, set up a little account, and I snooped a little bit.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I was on there for maybe 12.
Just fishing a bit.
Yeah. Just no. I was just I wanted to see what the fuss was about.
Okay.
You know, when something's fresh, something's
Yeah,
new.
yeah.
I just wanted to see what the fuss was about, innit?
Yeah.
So I just strolled around the app.
Was it easier like shopping basically? You got the profile there, you
Did
got
you
the
buy-
person,
Did you?
like you can see all the qualities and stuff like that, and then it's just a push of a button,
Yeah, I
which
think
makes it a lot easier. Do you know what I mean?
I think it was like I think there was something along the lines of like, do you pray? And then it says maybe sometimes or something like that. Like,
What do you mean?
It's like this is the thing, I don't remember, and it was so long ago. But like, there's a set of questions that would show up on your profile. Basically, you answer them, and then they will show up.
Okay.
Would you move abroad for somebody or something like that?
Okay. Okay.
Do you pray? Do you just those
And
questions?
it'll show on your profile when somebody looks at you.
Yeah. So
if it says I pray sometimes or something like
yeah,
you said-
it'll come up like
Oh,
don't
that's-
pray regularly or
Okay,
what,
cool.
something like that. So yeah, I don't remember too much off the app in it, so I can't tell you like no stories. But what I can tell you, yeah, from my observations, is that like the app, from what I hear in it, is mad in it now. But I'm sure that there's apps out there that are like proper. Like if you're looking for somebody, like you'll find somebody.
Yeah, but is
or-
that way it is now? Is it just apps?
No,
before it's
but me,
obviously
you
you
saying
go
me,
out and
like,
get some-
are you screaming like? Are you asking
Yeah, I'm
me?
asking
What do
you.
I do?
Yeah, I want to know you,
Bro, to be honest, like you got socials, like, and I'm not talking about those apps. I'm talking about like Insta, Twitter. You can. I like to go shopping in it, like that example I gave you earlier. I could just be shopping and bump into someone, you know, and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
that's it.
That's old school talk, innit? Probably. I'm with my shopping cart. I'm bumping into you in Tesco, and I just
You drop your oranges, and I pick up your oranges
Yeah,
for you.
man.
That ones.
I'm kidding.
It
Are
doesn't
these
always
your
work out
melons?
like that. Do you know
I'm
what
kidding.
I mean?
But nah, bro, just socials mostly,
Yeah.
innit?
Yeah.
Now, I think it's different as well. At the same time, like, there's not always going to be events where everyone gets to meet each other. Like everyone.
Yeah, but
nowadays,
but back to my
yeah,
question:
yeah.
does it matter to you guys where you meet your future partner?
To a certain extent, it does. But then again, you're not going to be in mad places.
What's the
yourself.
examples here?
Like, you're not going to be in a mad place.
Like,
Yeah,
an
yeah.
AP,
yourself.
like an AP party.
But I don't go to those, bro. I don't know what he's talking about.
That's the AP fuck.
What the hell is that?
Like, obviously, you're not going to see yourself in them place.
Oh, God. I said, what's that?
Back to the question. Until this guy composed himself.
I'm
anyways.
crying.
Nah,
But so does it matter to you guys where you meet the person?
I think you gotta be realistic in that. I don't think you go to like apartment parties, clubbing, all these places, right? To meet your spouse. Do you know
No,
what I mean?
but I'm not.
Because-
That's not my question.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't go there openly looking.
No.
Okay,
but
I'm
if
going
you
to look
do-
for my
if
wife
you
tonight.
do, you gotta
But let's say you
realise-
met someone there.
No,
Yeah.
but you gotta realize, obviously, look where you met the person.
We're dealing with hypotheticals.
Yeah, but I remember. But what you have to remember is as well that you're there yourself.
No,
Yeah,
of
Do you know what I mean?
course. Okay, wait.
So you can't-
You're
so you
talking
can't
about
look at the other girl and
Look,
say,
I
"Hey,
know where you're getting
I
at.
don't do AP girls, but
I know
I'm
where
in
you're-
APs.
I know where you're getting
Nah,
at.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
You're
That's
getting
being hypocritical in that.
Like,
sense.
that's what I'm saying.
You're talking about the double standards thing, innit?
Yeah.
Like
100%.
you can't expect of like someone what you wouldn't for yourself.
No,
Like,
no,
do
100%.
you
No,
know what I'm
I agree
saying?
with that.
Like you can't be a smoker and then say, yeah, my
wife
wife
can
to be, yeah,
It's not-
you can't do that.
It doesn't
Like,
work like that. No, definitely
Yeah.
not. Like you got to be realistic with it, with everything too. Do you know what I mean? If you like to party and whatnot, that's everyone. That's up to them anyways. Do you know what I mean? But if you like to see yourself in them kind of venues, and you bump into your potential misses at that point, obviously it's not planned and everything. But if you do and whatnot, I don't think you can question later. Say, you know what? How did I meet her? Why did I? Do you know what I mean? Like those are the places that that you met her, and those are the circumstances.
Yeah.
In that sense, like I don't think people do that anyways. Maybe people go there for fun and whatnot, but it's not always the case. Do you know what I mean?
100%,
But
100%.
and it's more like, I think probably the older you get and whatnot, you're being more realistic because, and this goes both ways, right? For the husband to be and the wife to be whatnot, you both want to see the best in each other. Do you know what I mean? You're thinking this is gonna be the father of my child. This is gonna be the mother of my child. Do you know what I mean? Like, is this guy gonna be calm or is he gonna have a relapse and go back to his clubbing?
Go back to his
No,
clubbing.
you gotta be
His
realistic
AP days,
because
yeah.
if he tends to be an outgoing person all the time, like if he for one night says, you know what, a couple of my boys just said, you know what, there's something late going on tonight, and I'm just gonna see what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we know you settle down, but he might have the urges then to want to go out in that sense. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you never know, and vice versa. Maybe she wants to go and link up with some of her friends and whatnot, and have a good time in that sense with her friends. But then it comes about the place she's at, and that becomes problematic. Do you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't want your wife, if she, for example, now she wants to go out, right? And she says, you know what, I'm going with my friends, and it's gonna be in X, Y, Z, wherever the place might be. Do you know what I mean? Do you have to think about it then and say, you know what, I don't want you there? Or do you say yes then to everything in that sense?
Well,
Do
if
you know
my
what I
wife
mean?
wants to go to a party,
Like, let's say, yeah. In that case, if she says, you know what, some of my friends are having a get together, whatnot, right?
well, is it just her and her girls?
Yeah, if hers
Yeah,
and
it's
her
just how it
girls
goes,
and
innit?
whatnot, like, I'm gonna be out late maybe to 1, 2, whatnot. Do you
Yeah.
then think about, you know what, I don't think that's the right time for you to be out? Or
Yeah.
are you like,
What number one is I
Yeah.
can't tell her to not do something that I also do.
yeah,
Do you get it? So if there's nights, if I come home late, if I'm out with my friends and I come home 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and she's out with her friends and she comes back home 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, as long as she's not going to get dropped off by some random person, yeah, so they know where we live or whatever,
yeah,
and she's not out with somewhere where it's a mad social event and there's guys, there's girls, drinking's going on, smoke, like, as long as it's like, if it's not something crazy like that, she's out with her girls and she comes home 1 o'clock in the morning, how can I say anything to her? When I come home 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning.
No, that's reasonable.
Do you know what I mean?
But then there's
We've got our own cars. She
Yeah.
drives. I drive.
Yeah.
She
mhm.
comes straight to the like. Do you know what I mean? I can't tell her what to do.
But
Like,
then-
in that kind of.
But then that's
in
back
those
to
terms.
what Lee was saying, the non-negotiables, for example. Like, some guys are like, listen, you're not stepping out after 10.
Yeah, I mean, dictatorship
then-
is a bit mad.
Bro,
And then it becomes, the way I look at it, it becomes a power struggle. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's
No,
the
but
way...
I see it as more as respect. First of all, like I said, baseline. If I'm doing something, yeah, I can't be a hypocrite towards her. Do you
No,
get
no,
it?
Definitely, I agree.
But then also at the same time, respect is also is needed. And for a guy, obviously, you want it to be like, you don't want no one to be saying, "Hey, listen, I saw your missus, there, whatever, 3 o'clock."
Obviously, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You don't want that, bro.
You don't want that. You're
you
going
know
to
what
get
I
a
mean?
heart attack or
Do you-
whatnot. You're going to start having doubts.
Crazy. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
It's
So
not
that's why I
something-
say, as if it's like a closed kind of party, just her and her girls or whatever, and there's no problem with that.
do you know what it is? Like, it comes back to that question that you was asking. Like, would you have an issue with where you met your missus to be? Yeah.
Mm.
So, like, the thing is I think the issue lies with, like, let's say for instance, a guy will meet someone in a mad place, yeah, or in a mad place. He could have been there. I don't know, like this is his first time going there, or it could be her first time going there, whatever the case is, yeah, or she goes there regular. But then they end up getting married or whatever the case, and the controlling aspect or,
Starts to kick
policing
in, yeah,
and
yeah.
whatnot starts to kick in.
Definitely.
Because a lot of people, like from what I've seen, it's like they're waiting to kick habits or vices or anything like that. Yeah, I'll stop doing
I'll
this
stop
before
that
I get
once
married.
I get married.
Yeah,
and
once I
whatnot.
get married,
Yeah,
once I
yeah,
get married.
definitely.
But
It doesn't
that-
always work.
it doesn't work out
No,
like
it
that.
doesn't work out like
Doesn't work
that
out.
because
You can't just go cold turkey.
no always.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It
so-
doesn't always work.
So the issue lies in listen, if you don't want to go, for instance, if you don't want to go that goes out or goes shisha and these things, my brother, like,
First of all, you can't do it.
you
first.
can't be
You
there,
can't do
number
it.
one, obviously, and don't go fishing in them in
them
over
places.
in them places.
Yeah.
Like, it's just default, innit?
No, but
Like,
I can understand. Okay, cool. It depends on what kind of angle it's coming from. Because if someone's proper on their deen now, yeah, and they're just obviously trying to follow rules, yeah, and if it depends on the conversation they've had between each other, yeah. Now they've been married for what? Let's say like a year now. They met at a shisha cafe, whatever. Yeah, they're married for a year now. Yeah, a year in now, he's probably saying, "Listen, we're married. Everything's halal now. Like, let's do everything halal. Let's obviously practice. Yeah, let's start practicing." Obviously, that conversation would lead to establishing boundaries and rules that he didn't make. So at the end of the day, no one can get mad at each other.
True, I agree.
Do you know what I mean? Because that's like I said to Sam one time, like my bar that I like to use, yeah, if it ever kicks off in my household, is I didn't make those rules. Do you get me? It's our rules. It's our rules that is given to us by in terms of Islam. So if I'm trying to follow them, I'm trying to do our best. Yeah, you as a partnership, we got to do that together.
Yeah,
Do you
no,
get it?
it's a partnership.
We have to do it together. Do you know what I mean? So if they've had that conversation and he's obviously just saying, hey, like, I'm not going out no more, I'm trying to practice now and I'm not comfortable with you still going out till 2-3 o'clock in the morning and like, going out and like to your girl's house and listening to music or whatever. I've stopped listening to music now. Do you know what I mean? It depends on literally on the case by case circumstance of each person's marriage and circumstance.
No, 100%.
As long as there's been a conversation between husband and wife. If you see someone's wife at the end of the day out, yeah,
but
do you
there's not much
think,
you can
but
say,
do you
bro.
not think it's different, right?
There's not much you can say.
When people are a lot younger, like
Yeah,
they're
it
not
is,
done
it is,
yet
it is.
with
no, it is.
the Barshala.
No, 100%.
You know what I
of
mean?
course.
Like they
But at the end of
still.
the day, it depends
you know
on
what I
their
mean? As being
conversation.
a young
It depends on
couple
the
in this
conversation.
sense. Do you know what I
Some
mean?
people they're just on cruise control.
Yeah.
Some people are just on cruise control. They're just, they're married now, but life is still normal. Do you know what I mean? But I always like to keep grounded and stick to my rules in terms of Islam and, try to be the best Muslim that I can be. And in terms of marriage, things are a lot different now because now you guys are married, yeah? There's specific rules that are made for married couples. you get it? So you're more liable. Even if you're not doing it, if something like there's something that your wife does, now you're liable as well. Do you know what I mean? If your wife leaves the house without hijab or whatever, do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. There's a lot of rules specific just for married people in comparison to when you're just by yourself. So people also need to understand when they're getting married, even if you're not practicing, the rules are still there for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The sins, you're still going to get the sins, regardless if you're not praying 5 times a day, if you're not reading your Quran, if you're not following Islam the way it should be followed. You still claim to be Muslim, so you're still going to get those sins. Do you get it? Because you're married now.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Because now you're gonna have to have those rules anyways. Because, like, mashallah, now you're a father. Let's say,
Yes.
right? You got a father. You're a father of two boys, mashallah. At this point,
Yeah,
now
right.
you want to be a role model at the same time.
Have to
Do
be.
you know what I mean?
Have to
And
be.
at this age now, do you know what I mean? Those things have to be implemented because at the end of the day,
Definitely.
you want them to be raised in a certain way. Like Lee said earlier, the non-negotiables have to be passed on too.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
And what is it like, for example, you know, you married young now, mashallah.
Bro, it
Have
was
to,
mad, man.
yeah.
We're moving hella Somali, bruv. Hella Somali. So obviously I got married on like a Thursday, but on my honeymoon the next day, Friday. Was gone for what, a week and a half. Come back. As soon as we landed, we moved into our new flat. First 2 weeks of December, Mrs. not really feeling too well. You know, bit of sickness in the morning. Whatever. Yeah? Not really feeling herself. 3 weeks goes by. Still the same. Not really feeling too well. Whatever. 4 weeks go by, yeah. Now it's January 1st, New Year's Day, yeah. She's still not feeling well, bro. Yeah? And we've just obviously come back from a week and a half in Bali.
Yeah.
Honeymoon. Yeah? It's honeymoon.
Yeah.
So it's honeymoon. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
It's honeymoon, yeah?
Yeah.
I just tell her, yo, pregnancy test. Yeah? She goes and gets that clear blue. Clear blue is mad, first of all, yeah? Let me tell you about clear blue. Clear blue, clear blue, yeah? Clear blue will tell you how many weeks you are to the week, literally down to the week.
Yeah.
Yeah? Boom, it tells us, 4 weeks pregnant. Does that mean that she was pregnant the day we got back from honeymoon, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah? So basically, we've only been married about, it was 9 days I was gone. We've been married 9 days and
that
my
point.
wife's pregnant, yeah? It's whatever. I mean, it didn't shock me. I don't know, for some reason I wasn't scared,
Yeah.
you know? I wasn't worried. Because we was comfortable, you know? I've already spent a year and a half making sure that
Of course.
our future roadmap is, you know, set up. We've got a lovely flat, brand new flat. I'm working decent job now.
Yeah.
You know, I've progressed from where I was a year and a half ago. I'm not worried. Yeah, but obviously it's different for the woman because her body is literally going through it. Yeah, and for 9 months you have to deal with that. Yeah, she's not feeling herself. She's not fitting into her clothes. Belly's getting bigger, emotional. I mean, different women experience different type of pregnancies, but the thing that is kind of a blanket situation is the hormones and the emotions, bro, through the roof.
Well, you get a pillow thrown at you at times.
Yeah, I wish it was a pillow. You know what I mean? I wish it was a pillow.
Yeah.
Pillow's light work.
But it's having. Look, you're both young at this point. It's having the sabr for it at the same time because you have
Yeah.
to have the understanding.
No, alhamdulillah, for
You
me,
know what I mean?
for me personally, my patience, alhamdulillah, I was blessed with it.
Yeah.
I was blessed with good patience, yeah. So I was able to always understand what she was going through, you know, be able to be there for her. Obviously, everyone's got a threshold, bro. At the end of the day, everyone's got a threshold. So there's days where I'm stressed out and, like, you know, it's getting to me.
Yeah.
Like her what she's going through is getting to me. Yeah, it sounds selfish, but maybe 6 months has gone past now. Do you know what I mean? And everything is, your wife is pregnant. Yeah, everything. Nobody cares about you these 9 months, by the way. No one gives a toss about you.
You're on your own, mate.
Your mom's calling you to speak to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me speak to her. Right. Everyone's just calling you. Oh yeah, let me speak to her. Yeah. It gets to a point where you start to fade into the background. But it's at that point where you have to literally look in the mirror and say, hey, it isn't about you. Yeah. Your wife's body is literally creating a human being. Yeah. If you look at Sam and Sam looks at you, a woman literally gave birth to you, and you was being manifested for 9 months within this person. Yeah. So it takes a lot out of them. Yeah. Like for me, I literally watched my son being born. That's why I'm so grateful. Yeah. And I understand what when they're pregnant. For the second one, I held my hands up 9 months. 9 months.
Yeah, because you knew from the first
nine
journey
months I was a doormat, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
9 months doormat, bro. And I took it on the chin, lightweight. Yeah. First one, hey.
I'm new to this.
Every 3 months it was like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, watching my son being born. First of all, I recommend. I truly recommend for every man to watch their child be born, if their wife lets them. Obviously, not every woman's going to be comfortable you being down there and literally watching everything. Yeah, literally, gynecologist is literally there. I'm right next to them, literally just watching everything. Yeah, and there's just something about watching your son or your daughter being born and them being the first person you see. Yeah. As soon as my son came out, he looked at me. Yeah. And babies usually cry when they come out. Yeah. And as soon as he's come out, he's looked at me. He's not said nothing. He's not cried. He just looked at me. We just locked eyes. We're just looking at each other. And it was at that moment, it was just life changed. Literally, I was literally a whole new person. Got the baby, cut the umbilical cord.
This
Dad.
isn't Adam.
Yeah. I'm no longer a dad. I'm a father now.
Yeah, father. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a father. Anybody can be a dad. But to be a father is, whoa. Do you know what I mean? I mean, for some reason, the dad might not be able to be there at the pregnancy, if they're not during the pregnancy, if they're not there for the labor, for the birth. And then they're just absent the whole time. They're still your dad, but they're not your father. Do you get it? So now I'm a father. Bro, and let me tell you, Patton, yeah. Once the baby's born, yeah, you cut the umbilical cord. It's not a wrap. There's still work to be done here. Yeah,
I thought it was done like that.
Brother. I wish it was, because what I witnessed, yeah, it was mad. Yeah, there's something called a placenta.
It's a bit that comes afterwards. Isn't it? After the birth.
Broski, I wish I knew.
Isn't that?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a bit
bro.
after anyways.
I wish I knew. So I've cut the umbilical cord off.
Yeah.
And the woman's just still holding the umbilical cord, and she just asks, "I'll just move out of the way, like just move back a bit, yeah." And she's pulling on the umbilical cord. I'm saying, "Yo, like chill out, like what are you doing?"
Yeah.
She said, "No, I just need to get the placenta out." I said, "What?" She said, "Like yeah, just like watch. Obviously, you've watched this whole time, and just watch this, and it." So
I'm surprised you didn't faint at this point,
bro. That was worse to me than the actual baby coming out.
All right.
Because once she's pulling on the umbilical cord, it's like the thing's like that big. It looks like a just huge blood clot.
Yeah.
Just comes out, plat, on the floor.
You didn't chop.
Bro, I'm looking at it for like 5 minutes straight. And the woman says to me, "Do you want to keep it?"
So what? People keep this?
Bro, people keep it, bro.
I don't know, man.
People keep it. People put it in milkshakes. People eat it.
Yeah. Oh,
normal.
Yeah, that's something.
Apparently, it's mad nutrition.
It's like the doggy bag to go, man.
Bro, it's mad nutrition. Apparently, it's mad. It's got mad nutrients or whatever. I said, you must be crazy. You need to dash that in the bin, bro. Get that the hell out of here.
Don't want to see that again.
Never.
No, but do you know what I wanted to ask you? Like, I wanted to ask you. You see, obviously, like leading up to this point, like when you were younger and whatnot, did you ever look forward to like being a dad, like a father?
You know what? Me personally,
did you ever think of it?
I always wanted to have the nice house, white picket fence, banging beautiful wife, and a few kids running around the garden. It wasn't something that I was outwardly working towards and dreaming of every night kind of thing, but it was what my end goal wanted to be. I did want to be a dad. I did want to, be a good person. I did want to be a husband to an amazing wife. So it was something that I did cross my mind, and I said, yeah, if anything, I do want that. I definitely do want that. So that's why I was very open to when the opportunity came, and I said that year and a half thing, and I was able to work that year and a half my ass off, because it was something I said, hey, what my younger self, what I was always thinking of how my older life would be, now's the opportunity for me to actually manifest it and bring it into reality. So I mean, it was a hard year and a half. I mean, no one. It's very hard to work 7 days a week, bro, for a year and a half. Do you know what I mean? So, but
It's the graft at the end of the
Trust
day.
me.
Because at the end of the day, you see
Bro,
the bigger
if
picture.
I didn't, and after it would have been difficult, man. Everything would have just been
Yeah,
a
but
headache.
seeing
But
the
that
bigger
year and a
picture.
half, literally,
Do
yeah,
you know what I
man.
mean?
It gave me time to just pattern up everything, bro.
Do you,
But
do you,
it's-
do you
yeah.
guys think that there's like almost like, I wouldn't say invisible, but like crazy pressures of, you know, like the man like to be the provider, and these things maybe being the things that I wouldn't say put him off from marriage, but that, you know, like
You know
will
what?
have someone.
You just have to take that on the chin, regardless if it actually is a thing or not. The society and the times that we live in, the man is the provider. Do you know what I mean? And it's not. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not that hard, but if you have a good job and you have an understanding wife and you guys live within your means, it's not going to be that difficult for the man to be able to be the provider. Do you know what I mean? And your partner would appreciate that you've obviously stepped up into that role. Do you know what I mean? So I understand, is there the pressure? And obviously there's going to be certain times where whilst you're playing that role, it is your kind of job to say, hey, that's not going to happen. Or I don't need pressure from me. I don't need that pressure right now, because we don't need that to happen. Do you get it? It's you're already doing that kind of role by already standing up for yourself in a way.
But at the same time, it's having a partner that's understanding. And
Yeah,
I think that's key for a lot of people.
That's very key, man.
Because
That
a
is
lot,
very key.
a lot of different people have different expectations, right? At the same time, if both partners see each other's growth in this sense and say, you know what, I understand what he's working towards, you know, I can be patient for that to happen, you know what I mean? Inshallah, you know, you'll get these things and have sabr for it at the same time. But then there's other folks out there, you know, that want it in that point straight. They want it instantly. At the same time, there's a lot of materialistic people out there that say they want that particular lifestyle that they might see on socials, and then, you know, a lot of people get influenced probably by socials at the end of the day. Like, they want that gift. They want to be eating out every week or so. They always want to be doing something on a weekend basis. But on a realistic point, it's not always going to be the case, because if you're always going out and whatnot, right, then you're not thinking of the bigger picture in a sense. Like, of course, not everyone wants to say no all the time. Of course, they want to do all these things. Of course, they want to go out and, you know, go on all these holidays all the time and you know, enjoy themselves. But at the same time, you got to be realistic at times and say, you know what, if things were to happen,
If you've got the
you know what I
means
mean?
for that, kudos
Yeah,
to
if
you.
you
man.
have got
No,
the
if you got the means to
mashallah,
that,
go for
but
it.
at the end of the
go
day,
crazy.
trust me, you don't want to fall into that trap.
But
Of
not
just
everyone
always
want-
saying yes.
Even those that have the means,
you don't always want
even
to be a
those
yes
that have the
man.
means in order to do those things, still like to plan and making sure that, you know, there's a safety net there. Do you know what I mean? And making sure that everything's reasonable. Everything has to be reasonable.
100%.
Even those folks that are rich, bro, they count pennies. Do you know what I mean? And
100%.
there are reasons for that, because if they're not able to think and say, you know what, we're not gonna go and do this, or we need to watch what we're doing.
Sustainability, yeah,
Of course,
yeah.
you got to be sustainable in the long term for it to, for the whole marriage to last. And marriage most of the time, you know, it's also based on mutual respect.
It's like
Do
a
you know what I mean?
business.
Yeah, well, yeah, if you want to have it, if you want to call it that,
I'm
definitely.
kidding, man.
You know what I mean? But
No,
at the
I
same
mean,
time, it's
it's
mutual respect.
Same kind of thing, like higher, like structure and, you know, job, like positions and stuff like that. It's kind of, I mean, you can use the analogy of it being a business partners or whatever.
But then,
Especially if you've got children as well.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
But at the same time,
Employees, yeah.
Huh?
That's
Hey.
employees, you know?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, do you know what it is? I think men and women, they have different expectations in terms of what they're looking for each other in terms of qualities, right? Like, the girl might want, I want this person to be earning X amount of money and to be established at a certain point, whereas the guy might be looking at other qualities. So they don't always match in that sense, right? So there's where a lot of people have a lot of differences on, and that prolongs the whole stage of you settling down. Do you know what I mean? There's not like a center point for you always to get. Do you know what I mean? Something that you said earlier was the non-negotiables.
No, but not even just the non-negotiables, bro. Like you have to be able to pinpoint, red flags and not be able to look past, don't look past red flags, man. Do you know what I'm saying?
No,
There's
definitely
loads
not.
of little things in it. Like the trickiest part about what both of you are saying is finding an understanding partner. Like that is the tricky part. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So yeah,
It's the hardest part.
make sure you lads choose your spouse wisely, and same goes for the ladies too.
For the ladies as well.
Yeah, it goes both
definitely.
ways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's all about making sure that even though people say, "Oh, you know what? I'm marrying my best friends," which is the cliche these days all the time. Do you know that's being said?
Yeah, I
and
married my
whatnot.
best friend, bro.
Do you know what I mean? Not you, obviously, but I tend to see a lot. And then what you see is after 2 years or so, a lot of people tend to be divorced at that point. Then because whilst we were friends, there were certain things, right, that they understood. But now you got responsibilities.
Literally.
Now you're living with the person. Now you're understanding them a bit more, right? And you think, you know what? Yeah, this person's a bit odd. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, and it goes both ways. Don't get me wrong. You think, you know what? Yeah, like, what's this person doing? And this person's not even contributing into the household. And I don't mean financially. I'm talking about literally cleaning up to cooking, cleaning up the bathroom himself too. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's not your mother. Do you know what I mean? In that sense, like, everyone wants to be laid back and say, you know what? Yeah, what's for dinner today? It doesn't always
that
work
is
like
a
that.
fantasy, mate.
Yeah, no,
I
but it
wish.
doesn't always work like that. You got to be able to help out. Do you know what I mean?
You're
gotta
gonna
be reasonable.
want to. You know what? Yeah. If you have a nice Muslim wife, she probably will cook for you every day and put it on the table for you. Do you know what I mean? But as the guy, as the man of the house, like sometimes you do want your wife to feel appreciated, and maybe just tell her like, "Yo, I'll cook today." Do you know what I mean?
No,
Small things like that. Trust me, for women, goes a long way, bro.
see, 100%, man. I with that I agree with you, but then again, you can't really like, if there's a man out there that wants his woman not to be working, and he wants a stay at home wife and all of that, then
And have the means for
that's
it.
and
Do you know what I mean?
you have
You
the
gotta
means
be
to provide and
reasonable.
whatnot. Then
You gotta be
then
reasonable
kudos to him
too.
too, man. Like kudos to
No,
him
but
too.
if you have the means for all those things, then go for it. Do you know what I mean? But if you don't have the means for it and you're expecting for your partner to stay at home and that's it kind of thing, yeah, it's not always going to work well, especially in London. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to work. Like, you got to be reasonable with things too. Like, this I emphasize heavily on this. At the same time, like, at this later stage in my life now, right, you definitely want to know how to cook yourself.
100%.
You definitely want to know how to clean. You want to make sure that, how to iron properly, do your washing and all these household things. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how I learned anyways in my time. My year away, that was literally where I learned a lot of the things.
Do you know what's funny right now?
Yeah.
As you said that, yeah, I'm thinking of Julius from Everybody Hates Chris.
Julius,
I swear to God. You see, he comes back. My man has 3 jobs.
Yeah.
He comes home. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's for dinner? Music.
Yeah. Everything ready.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Everything.
No, it's nice always also help your partner out. Don't get me wrong.
100%.
Man. Do you know what I mean? It's not your
No,
servant.
yeah, I want
It's
to,
not
man.
your
Like
servant,
the
and
cliche
they-
saying, as they always say, happy wife, happy life. You
Yeah,
know
but
what I mean?
some people, when they move from the mother's house, everything been done for them, then to move in with their partner, they expect maybe the same treatment, but it doesn't always work like that. Do you know what I mean?
But even like sometimes like parents, man, like don't, especially if you've got sons, like just don't give them everything kind of thing.
No,
Like,
but do you know
I
what's
had to clean at home. I had to do everything at home. Like, and the thing my mom would always say to me is this: is this how you would have your own house? Like, especially if I didn't clean my rooms. Like, this how you would leave your house? This
Yeah,
is how
but
dirty you want your own
can't
house to be.
deny the
know what
fact
I mean?
that, like, in our community, there's a lot of brothers like that have been raised like that. Their mums looked after them, has pretty much done everything for them, and
Yeah, I agree.
they might not be able to do those things for themselves. So like, we have to acknowledge that, innit? Like,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but is that a positive? Because
No, it's a
absolutely
negative.
not,
Do you know
mate.
what I
No, it's a
Absolutely
negative
not.
because
Do
a
you know
lot
what
of
I
the
mean?
pressures
That's what I'm
are
saying.
then put onto the daughters in that sense.
that's
right?
what I'm saying.
And then they've got all those good qualities, but at the same time, when it comes to the guys, for example, and let's say the mom's not at home now, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat now." Do you know what I mean? Everything's been done for them all these days, all this time, anyways.
We'll fry up some burgers and chips, innit?
It doesn't work like that. But if you're able to, like I said, if you don't need to depend on your partner for those things, say food, iron my clothes and all these other things. You don't need to depend on that. Do you know what I mean? You gotta be able already to be doing these things.
For yourself.
100%. You have to be
100%.
taught.
You need to
You have
know
to be
how
taught minimal life lessons, man.
Come on, man. You
have
got
to,
basics.
Whether it's taught or go and learn it
Oh, learn it
yourself,
yourself.
mate.
Yeah, trust me. Yeah, you have to,
You
man.
can't
It's
always
crazy.
have, you know what I mean, the beliefs on the table just like that. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, people would love to have that and just kick.
No,
back
so, I
and
mean,
whatnot.
that's a
But
fantasy,
let's say you're
man.
both working now. You're both coming back home from work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, what
And
are
you
you
say
gonna do
to her, and look at her and say, what's happening?
She'll tell you, literally, she
Because what? I just came in 30 minutes before you. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And you look at her now.
Well, whip something up
the
then,
table,
innit?
innit? But then think about it. She's tired from work too. Do you know what I mean? She's probably worked the same amount of hours as you. It's not realistic at this point.
I mean, we have to be
Mm.
realistic. Some people just don't, I don't know, they just don't have their brain just don't work like that. And they'll just still expect their partner to at least get started. Then, innit? As soon as you come in, like, that's what they expect.
Because
Don't look
I
left,
think-
don't look
I
right.
think-
You better see the stove first. Do you know what I mean? Like,
'Cause I
some
think-
people got that
yeah.
mentality, but it's mad.
I think we look at our own households and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? And mashallah, our mothers are more than happy to cater for us in that sense.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's always food on tables. Something's always there. You just need to even, you know, go to the fridge, pick something out. There's always something there. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or on the stove in that sense. But at the same time, is you're both young, working. Do you know what I mean? You're both in the career ladder at this point. It's not realistic in that sense.
No, because obviously the mom's not just focusing on you, innit? So obviously, if she's telling you to cook, yeah, but she still has other children, younger children that she needs to obviously cook for.
Yeah,
Do you
she's
get it?
getting for the
So
whole.
she's not only just cooking for
No,
you.
no, no,
Do you get
definitely, I
it? She's
agree.
not only just baby feeding, you know, the 19-year-old, but she's still got 11, 8, and like 5-year-olds. She's obviously cooking for the whole house. Do you know what I mean? So at that point, I understand how some people just go through life without having to cook and stuff like that, because obviously the household is mom's doing mom. She's cooking for everybody.
The question I had, right, was, and a lot is said always, is you really get to know the person once you live with them.
Oh,
What
yeah,
was
yeah.
that like for you?
Yeah, bro, you're learning on the job. Me, I was learning while my wife was pregnant.
Oh, definitely. Yours
Mine
is
was
whole
a
different-
mad situation. Do you know what I mean? I'm learning
Yeah.
what they're like at the same time they're pregnant. So mine was very unique. It was funny. It was fun. It was emotional. It was dramatic.
Was there no days that you just walked, like, obviously you went for a stroll. I wouldn't say run out of the house,
Huh?
but you went for a stroll and said, you know what?
Oh, what?
I need some.
I need to go to the shop.
Yeah, but I need to clear just
Get some
I-
milk.
Nah,
Bro, the shop was opposite, innit? But, you know, I went to the far shop.
Yeah.
I went to the
You need
other
a
shop,
good-
long
you
one.
need your own time.
Yeah, you have to,
you
man.
just need some fresh
So-
air.
I mean,
and like,
what I learned as well,
chill.
man, just space is just really, really good, man. Like, me, I'm someone, I can't be angry for too long. Like, whenever my missus pisses me off, I'm over it in about 3-4 hours. Whereas she can drag it for like 3 days. Do you know what I mean?
So what's the
But
common
that's-
ground then? For you know, for the brothers watching and the women out there, you know,
Bro,
like,
Because
what is it?
I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna be very impossible to not piss your wife off. Even you just piss your wife off accidentally sometimes, bro.
But
like-
is there things like tone?
Huh?
Tone. The way you said something that you might say to a guys, for example, you might say
Yeah.
to guys, "Hey, yo, look at," but you're saying it in such, in a different type of way, right? You know
Yeah.
how, of course, guys, there's no such thing as, oh, you said it to me in a certain way, like tone wise. They don't really bring
Think
it
about
up.
what you on about tone. You're my
Yeah.
wife, bro. Like,
Do you know what I mean?
straight
But
away
when it
they'll
comes
say
to
that.
women, it's
Yeah, of
it's
course, you
certain
gotta
tone.
speak to her nice, man. You gotta speak to her in I mean, it's gonna be hard when you're angry, like when you're pissed off. If you guys are having an argument, you're not gonna remember to, oh, you know what? Yeah, let me just watch my tone because that might piss her off extra.
Yeah.
You don't give a toss. You're going, you're moving, you're saying what you're saying. You're angry. You're gonna raise your voice or whatever. But one thing we have is there's never ever gonna be disrespect. Like, we never swear at each other. Like, never.
Is that something you agree?
Yeah,
you
that's
spoke
off
about
the bat. Yeah,
even
that's off
before
the bat. Agreed.
you
You know what?
started?
It's just because it never happened, and before it happened, we just had a conversation one day. It's like, you know, we've never actually swore at each other. Like, I've never called you a B word, and like, you've never called me like a dick or whatever, like
Yeah.
or like some mad words. And she was like, yeah, we haven't. And like, we just said, yeah, baseline, that we can never say that to each other. Otherwise, whoever does it is peak for that person.
100%.
Do you get it?
Mutual
It's
respect.
It's very
Again,
peak for that person.
Comes back to that, doesn't it?
It's very peak for that person. So yeah, that's something we got, and yeah, we just don't. But at the end of the day, you're still gonna argue. You're still going to be annoyed. Things you don't agree on. Somebody didn't do what they were meant to do. They've left it too late. Whatever. Yeah. Mrs. is going to hold on to that minimum 3 days, bro. You might hold on to it 3 hours. Yeah, she's going to hold on to it.
So is it just for the sake of it? You say, you know what? Let me just let it run. Just forget it.
I let it run the 3 days.
For free. No.
3 days. I don't even bother. I don't even try saying babes.
When
like,
you're angry, I'm saying when you're angry, for example, you said
it's not a fact of I'm just gonna let it go. It's just me personally. I can't be angry for that long. If I'm angry, I'll literally sit her down and say, "Boom, this is what you did. I didn't like it. This is what you can do in the future to not make me angry." If she's genuine about it, she's heard my literally my little PPE explanation, and she's genuine about it, and we kiss and make up. I'm good to go.
Would you say that's because of your like? You've
Of course
got
it is
good
my
communication, not even just character.
Oh, okay,
like,
yeah.
You've
My
got good
communication is
like
good,
you've
I'll be
got
honest.
good communication.
Yeah.
Do you think that?
100%.
So
Because some people, maybe if they're a bit pissed off, they'll just keep it to themselves, just be moody and just be like, don't worry about it. Like, don't chat to me. And they'll be distant, and, you know, it'll just be awkward in the house, and people walking on eggshells around each other. And it's just, you have to speak to the person if you're angry at them.
yeah,
bro.
the mood. Is
Women,
just,
I mean,
yeah.
not all women are like that, but I know some women, they're probably just, you know, you don't even know what you've done, bro. She's like, don't touch me. That's it.
Say your corner of the couch thing.
You come home from work, you just give it a kiss. You're like, what? Thinking, fuck.
What did I do? You're going through the whole thing. Like, what did I do?
I've been at work since 9 o'clock in the morning. I called her at lunchtime to do my daily check-in, see if everybody's okay. And I bought shopping on the way home. Like, what's going on? And then you find out you probably like left skid marks in the toilet for like the 110th time. Do you know what I mean? And she's, do you know what I mean? It's one of them ones. Like, I told you like to clean the toilet after self. My mum come over and she saw the toilet. Do you know what I mean? Something like mad like that. Do you know what I mean? So it's stuff like that. And you just have to be very political and be like, you know what, my bad, bruv. You know, like, I'm sorry.
So what advice, like, if I was to ask you, like what advice would you give? Like, let's try and close off on this, innit? Like, what advice would you give to brothers who are yet to get married, like, as a married man and a father?
What are they planning on getting married, or
Yeah,
do they have someone? Do they
who
have
doesn't plan to
potential?
get married?
Everyone does.
Huh?
But, like, let's say, what's the steps to take when you're on the way? Would you say that?
You're on the other side. So what I'm saying is if there's 3 things that you could pass on to, I don't know, like, to somebody, what would it be? Like, in terms of what you've learned so far. Obviously, you're still young.
Obviously, like, in our society, I mean, everybody usually does date their wife before they get married. Do you know what I mean? To an extent of however they do it. If they're just talking, they're going on dates or whatever. To a certain extent, they know who they're going to get married to. Some people have arranged marriages. It works for them. That's them. Couldn't work for me, but hey, do you know what I mean?
All right.
Each to their own.
But each literally each to their
definitely.
own. But if you're someone that, you know, arranged marriage is not on the cards, and you're speaking to someone or you're dating your wife, at the end of the day, you have to understand, if it doesn't come from your family, it's going to come from her family. The pressure of the marriage. Yeah. Obviously, some people have strict families, so they can't even know that you're dating someone. For them, it's, I want to get married to that person. Okay, cool. And you know what? They know at the back of their mind that you've obviously like been dating this person, or you've been speaking to this person for a while.
Where did you meet
But
this person?
for them, it's a straight like, okay, you've just met this person, you want to marry them. Like, do you know what I mean? That's how Somali parents, some strict Somali parents see it anyways, isn't it? But if you've got cool parents or whatever, one, you need to understand that the question is going to come either from your side or their side. So be ready to engage in an adult conversation, because you need to ensure, like, if from a guy's side anyways, you need to reassure their family that you will be able to take care of their daughter. That's like their number one goal. That's what they want from you. So be ready to, my number one is don't panic when the conversation happens, or when the conversation, when the topic comes up.
So you're saying, like,
Just be confident, be honest.
Be prepared when you're about to, like, ask for her hand. Like, don't.
Some people the hand gets extended before you even get to ask for it. Do you know what I mean?
Situations in that sense. Yeah.
Sometimes that's what happens, especially if the family know that you're this girl, you guys are talking. Sometimes the hand gets extended to you. So if that situation does happen, be able to, one, don't panic, and like be able to just have an adult conversation and say, hey, you know what, I do want to marry your daughter. Do you know what I mean? I'll be more than happy to marry your daughter. However, for your daughter to be comfortable and, you know, for us to not have any issues in terms of our families and whatever, I need whatever it is you need. You might be able to get married at that as soon as the hand gets extended to you. Do you know what I mean? If you are ready, you're ready.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But really and truly look at yourself in the mirror and say to yourself, are you ready? Because what is expected of you, what you think is expected of you, times it by 10.
Okay.
Yeah, just times it by 10, because once you times it by 10, you give yourself an enough kind of like margin to be comfortable. Whereas if you're doing the bare minimum, you're literally getting by every time. So give yourself whatever you're expected of, times it by 10, and trust me, you'll be comfortable. Yeah, and your roadmap in terms of your future kind of takeoff will be kind of smooth. Do you know what I mean? So number one, don't panic when the conversation does come up. Speak to your mum, speak to your dad on a real humble thing, on a honest conversation, and have the conversation with them first and say, hey, they want me to get married to her, but I need this and this and this. What do I say? Yeah. Number two, if you commit to something in terms of the girl or the family, you have to follow through, bro. Yeah. Definitely follow through and definitely be involved in the conversations that are happening in terms of the wedding, or like you don't want it to be blindsided if you guys agree to a wedding and then, you know, you and the girl have said, yes, little small thing, we're going to do it. Like
that's never happens though. Let's be honest.
But sometimes it happens. I've seen it happen, bro. And
no, what I'm saying is you might say you want something small, whatever that might be, and the parents come together, no, we're having something big.
Yeah.
And you never expected it.
And
you
never
banked
expected
on
that.
it. Do you know what I mean?
You never banked on it. That's what I'm saying. You need to be able to be involved in a conversation from the jump and make sure you agree on what your future steps are. So don't panic when the conversation happens. Be involved in the conversation and just be honest. Literally,
Perfect,
just be
man.
honest.
I think that's a great end to
Yeah,
definitely.
that's a definite.
I think one good takeaway you said literally is whatever the expectation might be, times about 10. Just
Trust me.
save time.
Trust me. That's what I
know
did,
mean?
and I would definitely give that advice to everybody else. Times it by 10. If you want to even be times it by 20, if you want, but definitely times it by 10, because if that's what they're expecting of you and you times it by 10, like I said, it'll give you a good margin.
Yeah, definitely. Things can come left and right, but
Trust
as long
me.
as you've got that, inshallah, like pattern in that sense, it becomes a lot easier.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
No, I definitely agree on that.
100%.
No, I
Yeah, that's
agree.
perfect, man. Hey, so thank you for coming through.
No, definitely, man.
Again.
I mean, they begged and begged me to come.
No, we did. We did. We was like,
Come
yo,
on,
brother.
You
we
know,
want
what I mean, I
another
had to
video.
find a little time to
Definitely.
schedule.
Hey,
but
come on,
I
man.
said,
Yeah.
hey,
Do you know, a lot of people enjoyed that episode, innit? That's why, listen, you're like, the door's always open,
No,
innit? Do you know what I'm saying?
definitely.
nah, thank you. Man. Thank you.
So,
Like Lee said, definitely, a lot of people were reaching out saying, you know what, especially the episode you done was a lot of relatability in their sense.
Come
it was
on.
like, you know, a
Our
lot of
people's-
folks, a lot of,
But there's not a
No,
lot of like I
fish and
remember like
chips,
a lot of
random.
a lot of us Somali people. None of us were born, like none of you guys were like born here, innit? So
yeah, no, I agree.
a lot of people don't really relate to how I was.
no,
do you know?
there was quite a few people, you know.
Yeah, I
Like,
think-
I
Oh, I
do
didn't
know
see it,
people.
but-
Yeah,
no,
no,
what
quite a
I
few
do know.
people.
I know people that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they did because they said
East
you know,
London.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah,
Definitely.
she said not
But
really.
yeah, what's it
Yeah.
called? So yeah, it's got to that time, man,
It's got
where
to the
we
time.
we lock off. So
Yeah.
obviously, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend,
And then tell them to tell their friend,
yeah,
and then their mum and their dad as well.
that's it, man. Send it
And if
through on
there's
them.
yeah, no, definitely. I was gonna say too, if there's something you disagree, hit us up.
100%.
Say, you know what, whatever he said, we don't agree with it. You know,
Yeah, we might
happy
even
to
invite you on,
conversate.
and you know, we'll chat face to face.
let us
know
know
what I
what
mean?
you're thinking, anyways.
Yeah, so
We like opinions.
yeah, man. I think it's a wrap, man.
It's a wrap.